elected county law enforcement guy, right? Because Cliven's a big guy on the power of the county sheriff. The problem here is that the county sheriff told his kid to get out. And so, if you take Cliven at his word, that the county sheriff is the closest to the people and is accountable to the people, and as he said, this is the constitutional position, well, then Cliven's kids should have gone home when they were offered. Dave Ward offered him that chance. He said, we'll give you safe passage out of the county, man, and they wouldn't take it.
Yeah, that's so true. Now, what do you hear about these rumors people are talking about that the military and the police are going door to door in Burns and checking people's houses to see if anybody there was sympathetic to the Bundys?
I sure hadn't heard that, but isn't that like what was the thing down in Texas? Was it Jade Fire or something like that?
Jade Helm, yeah. And they were digging tunnels under Walmart. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not right.
And it's interesting because 1 year I was driving into Burns, and at about 3:00 I was still west of Burns, and I got stopped doing about 85 miles an hour and got a ticket. And by the time I got into town, everybody at the church I was going to visit knew I had got a ticket. News like that and stuff and gossip, and when you talk about small town America, man, it just spreads quick.
Yeah.
And it could be true or it may not be true. It doesn't matter. It's something to do.
Well, because I'll give you an idea what's been going on. When we did our last show, like I said, this other station did a roundtable show where they were spreading some kind of crazy information about that they found arsenic in the land under the Hammond's Ranch, and that the federal government wanted to dig that up, give it to the Chinese so that they could spray us with chemtrails. Okay, this is an elaborate theory, okay, coming from our show, by the way, okay? Then, now get this. No, it gets better. That station then went on like a 24-hour live updates, and people were calling in with all kinds of theories about people's homes being door-to-door searches by the military. The people inside that game reserve, that bird preservatory there, the federal, the standoff people, were listening to this on the radio, and that's where they're getting their information from. Okay?
The only people walking around causing trouble were people aligned, with the Bundys.
Yeah.
You would think that if any of what you just said was coming out, you would have heard of it at least from somebody, from OPB or the Oregonian who's there on the ground. The Burns Herald that comes out every week, or
right.
Maybe when I talked to one of my friends up there, somebody would have said something, right? But
and it just goes to show the danger of publishing sensational news and sensational information, because the actual people that are involved there in that standoff, that's where they're getting their news from. So, and that goes just to show you how things spiral out of control and go crazy. So what do you think's going to happen now?
This makes that old yellow journalism stuff of the Hearst newspapers look tame, huh?
It is so true, man. It is so true. So now what do you think is going to happen next up there? Is this going to heal or what?
I think the first thing you got to do, you got to get these 4 folks out of there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the one guy's saying he's going to, he's not going to be arrested. Well, he's going to be arrested. Or unless he does something stupid, he's going to be arrested. So once those guys get away, then then we're going to see thing happen to the artifacts and the inside of the building and all of that stuff, and if that's going to bring more charges, and then you know what? I think a lot of the stuff will just kind of sit under the surface locally. There's a lot of support, from the Hammond's friends. They will gather around the family. They will help care for the family. When I'm in LA next time, I'm going to go try to see. I'm going to go try to see both of them. when I'm there because I know them, and we'll see what happens. It's a good community. There's good people up there. There's hardworking people up there on both sides of this. And like I said before, they all go to church together. They all go out to dinner together. They all go to potlucks together. But this has really brought a lot of difficulty, to a very small, isolated area.
So now the Hammond father and son, they're in prison in California because it's a federal charge, so they were moved to another state. Now, do their family get to visit them? Can they travel that far and go visit?
Well, I'm sure yeah. I mean, it's down to Los Angeles, essentially. What is that, about maybe
8 hours.
10 hours from Burns?
Yeah.
Something like that. But, I mean, that's... I think they've already been visited at least once by somebody in the family, because there are relatives in the Los Angeles area. So the last I heard is they have been visited by somebody in the family, and they're doing okay. But the dad, that's the worry. Is he going to live long enough to get out of prison?
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can get a pardon.
70 something. It's,
That's heartbreaking. Well, hopefully they can get a pardon. You're going to get a presidential pardon now at this point, because of all the ruckus that's been going on here and all the bloodshed and all that kind of stuff. Dave, we're down to the last couple of minutes. What do you want to leave us with, Dave? We're down to the last couple of minutes.
I would just say, like you talked at the beginning, we're down here trying to make a difference in some extremely poor folks' life in Mexico. I've been here for over 20 years. It's good work, and if somebody out there wants to come and connect with us, find us on Facebook, Adventures in Life Ministry, or online at ailministry.org, and drop us a line, drop me an email, and we'll get you hooked up.
Okay, Dave, thank you so much. Okay, my friend?
My pleasure, Ed. Talk to you next time.
Okay, hopefully I'll get down to Mexico soon. I get down and help you out. If you need someone to open up...
Love to see it. Love to see you down here. You can do a broadcast, a live remote.
Or if you need someone to open up the beer bottles for you, okay?
Mezcal, man.
There you go. Let's do it. Okay, my friend. Thank you very much. I'll see you...
Next time I'm on, we're going to talk mezcal.
Okay, very good. Let's do it, man.
All right.
Thank you very much. Okay, now that we have Dave Miller, the inside guy... He's been up to Burns way before all this huckus and this ruckus started happening. He's known the Hammond family for years. He knows all the gossip down there in Hammond. And like I was trying to get across, after we did that show, that Friday, the first Friday night show that I did with Dave Miller here from Adventures in Life Ministry, who's a straight guy. You can hear him. He's a church-going guy. He runs a missionary. This guy's not, by the way, he's not the Joel Osteen, televangelist making millions of dollars. He's a hardworking guy. He's putting his butt on the line. He's down there in Mexico rebuilding homes and cars and all this kind of stuff like that, raising money to save these towns down there. Straight guy, okay? He's not an infiltrator feeding me false information. He knew about this Hammond family story before anybody before it was ever on the news, okay? Okay, and I just, coincidentally, I happen to know about it myself. I saw a documentary about it about 2 or 3 years ago, or a news story or something. So my point is, though, is that here's the straight information. And then you got people who listened to our show and went on with these crazy theories about this arsenic in the land, and they want to seize their land to take the arsenic and send the arsenic down to the Chinese, and that Hillary Clinton's going to get some kind of, there was promised land and property down there, and then they're going to take the arsenic and they're going to put it in the chemtrails and spray it with the chemtrails. And then, who's listening to that craziness? The people up there, holed up in this preserve, this nature preserve, this bird refuge sanctuary, whatever it's called. So I tried to get a call in with the Paiutes, tribal spokesman, to come on the show, and I couldn't get a hold of them. So then I was trying to get the right amount of tape. So what I got is Ramona, Africa, coming on next, and she's going to be telling us about the story of Move. This group in Philadelphia. First, their home was attacked on when they had a freestanding home, and then later on, 1986, they were attacked again. And it was like a standoff, okay? But these activists were shot with water cannons. They were shot at Women were holding babies over their heads where babies were drowning. They were put in prison for 33 years. Ramona Africa herself was put in prison for 7 years after trying to escape from this burning inferno, and they were shooting at her. Okay? 3 of these MOVE members are up for parole, and we're going to do everything we can to try and get them out. Our next guest after this break is Ramona Africa. I want to thank all my sponsors, emailrevealer.com, Pacific West Bamboo, MichiganMushrooms.net, and our StrummanMusic.com, and Miguel Lasala, author of Rodeo of Doom. We were able to get a hold of Ramona Africa. You might remember Ramona. She's been on our show once before. One of my favorite shows. Ramona Africa is the Minister of Communications for the group MOVE. And you might recall that way back in 1979, their first home was attacked by the police. There was a shootout. And then in 1985, the police again attacked them and burned down a whole row of 60 homes in Philadelphia. They dropped a firebomb on top of this row of houses. And Ramona Africa is a real hero and a Okay, yeah, guys, here's what happened. American Freedom Radio dropped the call and they're playing the clip from Ramona Africa. What I can do is, if you guys want, I can pull up that clip right now and play it for you, or I can just add it to the YouTube and the Spreaker and stuff like that. You can listen to it at your convenience. Let's see here. You know what? It would be too much. We're going to have to end the show now, and I'll add Ramona Africa, and it'll be available on YouTube and Spreaker and that kind of stuff like that. It'll take way too long to upload it here to Spreaker for you guys. Sorry about that. So we'll say goodnight. I love you. You know that. Go out. If you're in Ohio, Iowa, get out. Caucus for Bernie. Very important. I think we can take this on Monday. So, guys, good night. Thank you for listening in, and I'll talk to you soon.